Hi, you're listening to The Truth Be Told with myself, T Baby, here on KUAW Radio. That's knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. If you have a business or an event that you would like sponsored here on KUAW, make sure to send us an email at kuaw985@gmail.com. Um, you can visit us 24/7 on the World Wide Web. That's www.kuaw.org, as well as our Facebook page, KUAW Radio, our YouTube page, KUAW Radio, our Instagram, our Twitter, our Periscope, our all social networks. Look us up. Make sure to like, subscribe, share with your family and friends so that they all have the ability to check out the great content that we have here at KUAW. Again, I appreciate all you guys tuning in at this live broadcast. So yes, I appreciate you guys. So this might be a shorter show than usual today. um, However, let's get started. First, I want to talk about Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan, I guess it's been out there today. I've seen it today about Jackie Chan stating that his estimated $370 million estate. He said that he will be leaving to charity instead of leaving to his son. Um, he said that if his son is worthy, he will make his own money. And if he's not worthy or can't make his own money, then he would just waste his money. So he decided that he was going to give his estate to charity. I wanted to break this down a little bit or just talk about this a little bit because we talk about financial support and financial resources, on the Truth Be Told all the time, building generational wealth. Basically just being set up for success, and so it was kind of disturbing to see him have that type of mentality towards his child. I can understand maybe half of it, maybe even a third of it, but just to leave him with nothing, granted, he's grown, and he can basically fend for himself. He can make his own money. Um, but it reminds me of this meme, and it's like, in a common thing in our nation is get it out the mud. Like, people talk about how they had to get it out the mud, just basically the struggle that they had to go through to be where they are. And it's a meme now that said, my children aren't gonna have to get it out the mud. Like, I'm leaving behind LLCs, deeds, and all kind of things, you know what I'm saying? So to see that type of mentality, especially amongst Asian. I don't know if that's racist or not, but I'm just gonna say it. It's kind of, it's kind of weird. It's kind of crazy for him to have that type of mentality. I don't think it's right. I feel like children should be set up to, succeed. They should come into they should be able to pick up where their parents left off, not necessarily trying to build their own thing, their whole time. But granted, they should be able to have support or just a little foundation to build upon, instead of you don't have to leave them everything. We know children are ungrateful. A lot of rich children, children of rich parents or wealthy parents, they don't really know the value of a dollar, and what I'm saying, things like that. So I definitely can understand his mentality. I just think it's a little bit different. It's a different ways that we can go about this. Or that we should go about this. Like, even if it's a trust fund, like, I know it's just a show, but even like that show Power, when Ghost had passed or got murdered and everything like that, but he had conditions, for his son to receive everything. It was certain things that he had to do or accomplish in his life to be able to tap into that fortune. And even if you want to go that route, I understand that. But to not leave anything behind, I just don't feel like that should be the goal, especially to your children. So that's just something that I seen today, and I wanted to tap in because we have to do better, with our finances. We have to do better with building future generations. We have to do better with just setting our children up for success. so that we don't have we have a very poverty mindset. And to get out of that, we have to build generational wealth. We have to be able to have the mind frame of leaving, something behind for our children, for our grandchildren, like, whatever stage you might transition at. But there has to be a certain level of just concern about how that is going to go, of how the future generations is going to go. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind, as well as it was announced that Kim Kardashian is officially considered a billionaire. We know that came out about Kanye West a couple of weeks ago as well. They are also 2 months ago, Kim Kardashian West filed for divorce from Kanye West. Kanye West responded today and basically was like, he wanted joint custody of the children, and he wanted no spousal support to be ordered for him or Kim, And there was a lot of comments about this, about why he would say that or why he would do that or anything like that. But I especially if there wasn't a prenup, between the two. But I definitely agree with him. It's like there's no need if you are both considered a billionaire, there's no need for one to have to support the other or pay the other spousal support. There's no support that you need as a billionaire. Like, let's just keep it real. What more support do you need? So I definitely agree with that. I thought it was, very fair, for him to state that in, his response to the divorce. And I just think that, a lot of people get caught up in how things are supposed to go, how society says it's supposed to go, and all kind of things like that or whatever. But I like the fact that Kanye West like really dwells in is being his own person. Like, he really does not care what no one says about what he does, what he thinks, what he says. He really does not care. A lot of people call him crazy, but like I said when we had conversations about Kanye West in the past, everybody called Einstein crazy too until he died. Now he's in books as one of the greatest, smartest men, to have lived. So I definitely, Kanye West is kind of one of my favorite people. He keeps it real. He also had a clip earlier this week talking about identifying as Black. And that's going to kind of move us into our next segment, because there's two incidents that I want to talk about that's going on right now. The first one I'm not so emotionally tied to, so I'll talk about that one first. But there was a Army lieutenant that footage has been leaked of a traffic stop, and where two police officers in Virginia approached him with their guns pulled, pepper sprayed him in his car when, they were asking him to get out of the car. He stated that he was honestly afraid to get out the car. Why was he, asking why was he being instructed to get out the car? One thing that really bothered me about this video was the police officers, just obey, and like the things they were saying, the way that they were talking to him, like, he's a grown man, and I feel like police officers are just, I don't know what it is. Like, we as a nation, United States of America, as a country, there needs to be more training. There needs to be more in-depth training of police officers. I know I've stated this before, because I'm all for lie detector tests for police officers. I'm all for psyche evaluations before people can become police officers, more extent training, because they only go through 6 months of the police academy. I'm just really for, just restructuring this whole concept of police, and This video really shows you why. You know, you can go lay your life on the line for this country and then come home and get treated like you're nothing, you know. And the video was just disturbing, you know, when he finally did get out the car. Well, you know, after the pepper spray, several times he was pepper sprayed, basically because stating because he wasn't complying. He was stating how he was afraid to reach to take off his seatbelt. um the video is really disturbing. The crazy thing about it is it happened in December. We didn't hear anything about this. It wasn't released or, you know what I'm saying, anything like that until the gentleman, the man decided that he was going to sue these police officers, which I feel like is very that's what he needs to do. You know, I feel like if the police department started getting sued for these things that they are doing, it will kind of cause a sense when you start hitting their pockets. Like, the United States loves money, you know. So when you start hitting their pockets, I feel like it would, you know, kind of cause a shift. Hopefully, cause a shift. Um, yeah, the video was just very unfortunate to see the things that was going on. What really bothered me was the fear of the man. You know, I tell you guys all the time that these videos keep surfacing. You know, like, these things aren't new that's going on to us. It's just the way that we are seeing it and the quantity in which we are seeing it, like the frequency in which we are seeing it. It instills fear in our people. I feel like it's purposely done to instill fear in our people, the way it's put out and sharing it. I don't even like to, if honestly, if it wasn't for the truth be told, I wouldn't even watch these things, because I do feel like it's important for us to talk about these type of things, talk about what happened in the situation, really just keep an eye on what is going on and have any type of impact that we can in justice for these people, these victims that are being subjected to this type of behavior from people that take an oath to protect and serve you, people that you pay with your own tax dollars, um to protect and serve you. And they're getting away with not doing that. They're getting away with not doing their jobs. And I just think about, if I was to go to work every day and literally not do my job, I would get fired, you know? And it's like, it's sad that they're not held to the same standards. It's sad that they can get administrative leave for killing someone. They get basically a paid vacation, you know? Um, it's just sad. And, you know, the trial with Derek Shavy, whatever his name is, I can never say his last name, but the guy that killed George Floyd, that ongoing trial, we're in the 12th day of that trial right now. Hopefully, again, and I'm gonna say this every week until it's over, hopefully he is found guilty and he is sentenced how anyone else that would commit those crimes would be sentenced. Um, and I'm just praying and holding high thoughts that, you know, justice really does take a course in this situation. I feel like once police officers start seeing the consequences of their actions, of others' actions that are doing these, how do I want to say this, unhumane acts against our people, that it would, you know, trigger it to stop. You know, in a sense, like, if they fear consequence, if they know they're not going to be able to get away with it because they didn't got away with it for so long, I feel like they feel like they can do whatever they want to do, and that there's no consequences, just like anyone else. If you are constantly doing something you're not, that you probably know that you shouldn't be doing, but if you are not getting caught, or if you're not really having any consequence behind the actions that you are taking or the choices that you are making, you're going to continue with those choices until you face a consequence. until it makes you think about it a little bit more. So with that being said, let's talk about Kim Porter. All right. Kim Porter is a Milwaukee police officer who on Sunday fatally shot Dante Wright, a 20-year-old male. He was pulled over for a traffic stop. He had an air freshener hanging from his rear view mirror. In further investigation, having something hanging from your rear view mirror is against the law in Milwaukee. So initially, that's why he was pulled over. He was instructed to get out the car. He got out the car. The police officer was trying to put him under arrest for a warrant. In some further investigation of this warrant, it was for missing a court date. He missed the court date because the citation was sent to the wrong address, which was also returned to the police station or the court. So they knew that it was sent to the wrong address, and that he didn't receive it. Okay. And so this 25-year veteran, she worked for the police force for 25 years, is claiming that she mistaked her handgun for a taser. The police chief has came out and said that it was an accident. As well as, now let's look at how this accident occurred, because he also stated that their gun is on their dominant side, their taser is on the other side. So your handgun and your taser are not even on the same side of your uniform or your utility belt. When you look at the design of a taser and the handguns, a police issued taser and the handguns, the barrel is the taser is thicker. It looks like it has a little bit more weight to it. I have not actually held them to compare it. Yeah, she shot him in the chest. He died a couple of miles from the scene. She and the police sergeant in her department, I believe, have both resigned, and that happened today. She was originally placed on administrative leave. I believe that happened on Monday. She resigned today. The police sergeant, he resigned as well. This is so unfortunate. It happened a couple of blocks from where George Floyd was unfortunately murdered by a police officer. Okay. I've been getting emotional just thinking about this all day, because we're seeing more and more deadly traffic stops than there ever should be. I don't understand how someone could be getting pulled over and pose no threat. They don't have any weapons on them. They, and end up dead. Just like the guy here in Kansas City, that they said wasn't enough evidence to charge the cop. This young man was 20 years old. Okay, his mom had just bought the car 2 weeks ago. He was on his way to the car wash. Him and his girlfriend. It's unfortunate that she was in the car with him, because this is the type of trauma that we are subjected to. Seeing these are the type of things that, again, that instills that fear that I was stating earlier. When you're with everything that's going on, with all these killings that we see, with all these all these videos and body cams, you know, all these videos, and the body cam of the situation hasn't even came out yet, because as the president had stated earlier, he made a statement on it. It was just too graphic to even be shown right now, which means they want to edit it. You know, let's be real. It means they want to edit it. Um, it, I can only imagine my heart, my prayers go out to his family, his mother, his father, you know, his family, his girlfriend that was in the car with him, that was unfortunately a witness to this murder. Um, I have to agree with you. This is happening too much. It's happening way too much. It's happening way too much. And for a 25-year veteran on the police force to say she mistaked her gun for her taser is unacceptable. It's I couldn't imagine. It's unacceptable. I feel like they are using any excuse now to justify murdering us down in the street, murdering us on camera, across the internet for everyone to see, for the world to see. Um, and again, it's like, what do you do in these situations? You get pulled over for a traffic stop. How could you not be fearful when numerous of people haven't came home from a traffic stop? How is it? I mean, how is it that trained professionals who are trained in these situations are more forgiving and not staying calm in these situations than civilians who have no training to stay calm when a gun is pointed in your face? You know, when you get into this fight or flight mode, that's really what it is. It's really that our people, from everything that we are seeing, we are going into a fight or flight mode when it comes to police officers, when it comes to the people that are paid by you, your tax dollars, to protect and serve you. You get pulled over, your heart beating fast, your blood pressure up, like it gets to the point where you don't even want to pull over. Like, if cop get behind me, I don't even want to pull over. You know what I'm saying? Like, you flash your lights, we gonna have to drive all the way to the police station. Like, we gonna have to drive to a well-lit area. That's the sergeant, the army lieutenant, you know, he has stated that, you know, he drove a good while before he actually pulled over because he's trying to get to a gas station, a well-lit area. He's an army lieutenant. Okay. And normal people with normal jobs, teenagers, children. This young man wasn't even old enough to go in the store and buy liquor. You know what I'm saying? Like, he are supposed to hold their composure more than the police officers who are trained to hold their composure, who are trained, are supposedly trained in these situations, trained how to deal with these situations. But yet, when something like this occurs, the one that is not there to talk about it, that's the one being put on trial. Just like George Floyd. They want to talk about the drugs that he did. They want to talk about his past criminal history. None of that has to do with what happened in the moment. None of that has to do with another grown man putting his knee on your neck for 8 minutes and 45 seconds. None of that, none of his previous actions, no matter what he had did, caused that to happen. No matter what Dante Wright, we're going to say his name. He's not just a victim. Dante Wright, this 20-year-old kid, this 20-year-old child, somebody's brother. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to act. He's supposed to be more calm and more under control than this 25-year-old veteran police officer. How? How does that even make sense? You know, and it's like it's getting to the point we shouldn't even need no trials. We shouldn't. The body cam should be trial enough. We don't need no trials. We could clearly see. I don't. If you say that this was a mistake, what is you saying? Your apology, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You want to give your statement. Oh, I didn't know. I was moving fast. Blah, blah, blah. How does that help this family? How does that help? What if that man had a child? How does that help that child that no longer has a father? You know, it doesn't. These people get to go home to their children. They get to go home to their husbands, to their brothers, to their sisters, to their mom and dad. Yet, for a simple air freshener hanging in your rearview mirror, ended your life. Granted, now people are going to come out. This just happened. So people are going to come out and say, because it has already been stated that he had a warrant. She was trying to arrest him or handcuff him. He broke free from the handcuffs, jumped in a car, and that's when she yelled out, "Taser, taser," but shot him with her gun. She yelled out, "Taser, taser." They say that they're supposed to yell out, "Taser, taser," to let their partner know that they are what is it called? That they're about to disarm their taser, or they're about to, shoot their taser out. But she shot her gun, hit him right in the chest, killed him. One shot. How is that where you're even aiming? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're trying to disable someone, even by a taser, you're aiming to shoot them in their chest. You're aiming. I don't know the health issues that come along with a taser, but I don't know if you're supposed to aim at their chest. I really don't even understand how she hit him in the chest if he was getting in a car to drive away. If she was on the side of the car, like it's just, it's so many questions. It's so many questions, and then they had the young man's body just laying on the ground from what his mom say for hours. She trying to get answers. She like, "Can you please just get my son off the ground?" Like, ugh. I've lost a child before. You know what I'm saying? I lost twins. I couldn't imagine having a child for 20 years, walking and breathing and talking and loving you for 20 years. He's on a simple mission to go wash his car, and you never talk to him again. He called his mama right before. That's a conversation she'll never forget. My heart really just goes out, because I think of, I got brothers, I got nephews, I got friends. I have friends with children, with young men, children. Shout out to KJ, happy birthday. But I just, I try not to live in fear. I try my hardest to always have high thoughts, positive thoughts. This stuff is getting out of hand. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of reading about it. I'm tired of talking about it, and it's just sad that it's like every week we got a new case to talk about. Every week. I know at least twice a month. And I can't even tell you when it started. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even think back to a point of when we weren't seeing this. Especially in this age of social media and the internet and everything, it makes it so much easier to share, so much easier to to view. entity. The police should be held accountable for killing Black people. I think if they have to pay for their actions, maybe that will help. And that's exactly what I was saying. There needs to be some type of consequences going on for these people. Now I kind of want to touch on the Black thing real fast because I do need to get up out of here. But I want to talk about the Black thing real fast because that's what Kanye West was talking about, and I'll talk more about it on next week's show. But Kanye West was saying that, you know, it's crazy because we call ourselves Black. It doesn't tie us back to anything, and this was his words. It doesn't tie us back to a nation of people. It doesn't tie us back to a language. It doesn't tie us back to a land. It ties us back to nothingness because it is nothingness. I feel like that's part of the problem. I feel like part of the problem is of why, not why the police officers are killing us, but why they're not being held accountable is because how we identify ourselves. It's really important to know who you are. It's really important to know how you fit into the law of the land, which is the Constitution. It's really important to know how you fit into these structures so that you are not subject to be treated as property, as nothingness, as if your life does not matter, you know? Um, just real quick, I just want to have a quick moment of silence before I get out of here. I do gotta go. I just wanted to do a half-hour show for you guys real fast because I wanted to get this off my chest. But I just want to do a quick moment of silence just to send out positive thoughts to this young man's family, just send out positive thoughts to our people, just our, you know, just that better times are ahead. So yeah. All right, guys. So that's my show. I meant to talk about Ramadan. Guess we're gonna have to do that next week. That's my show. I appreciate you guys listening, turning in. Make sure to like, share this video. It's a short one this week, but I'll see you guys next week. Oh, real quick, I gotta do the Holy Covenant AJ Nation. And then I'm out of here, so I can't sorry. Ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care. The breast of one mother have given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with our brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house. When you separate in the world, remember the relation that bondeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brothers in adversity, assist him. If thy sisters in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy Father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all, or be continued to you all in your love to each other. Peace.